Good morning, everyone. Honourable Minister Blackmore, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Justice, Commissioner of Police, and other officials here with us from various military establishments in the region. Good morning. I've never had the opportunity to thank you, Mr. Chairman, for this beautiful song which you left with us over the years when you were with the Gaylords Power Union, or Dominica, the Land of Beauty. So I really want to thank you for giving this song to Dominica. It's so fitting right now. I also want to thank God for myself, because having spent 3 hours in a bathroom during Hurricane Maria, I really want to thank God for being here. Sincerely, it's the most terrifying experience I had. I really want to truly thank God for being here and to be able to speak here this morning. Maria dealt a significant blow to the courts of Dominica as well as the residence of the judges. Dominica has 2 resident judges, criminal court judge and a civil court judge. Both buildings were damaged. The building which houses the judge at the Monbruce, not too far from here, it's my estimation it was damaged about maybe 80% or more. That's just where Justice Stevenson resided. Justice Charles Clark's residence suffered significant damage as well, maybe like 30 or 40% damage. The High Court Criminal Division, where the Registry Department is and where my office is located, suffered significant damage to the roof, maybe 30% damage to the roof, and a lot of damage internally as well. On that point, I want to take the opportunity to thank the Jamaican contingent who were with me on Friday last week, based on the instructions of PS to have them to come to have a look at the building, the damage done to the building, and to assess what can be done to repair it permanently, much faster than we have done so far. We have done a sort of temporary cover into the roof, and thanks to UPS for that. And the Jamaican contingent looked at the damage to the roof, where they climbed the Nassif building to have a look at the damage done to the High Court. We went to the civil court, civil division of the Supreme Court. The roof is completely gone there, and the Jamaicans also looked at it with a view to seeing how they can remedy it. Hopefully we'll get some assistance sooner rather than later to have both roofs repaired. In terms of the cleanup efforts, a significant amount of cleaning up has taken place. Both courts are cleaned more or less, a little dust here and there, but the debris that was in the court have been cleared. Both courts are still not electrified, but we are working towards it to have it electrified sooner rather than later. The Registry Department, Registry section of the court, registry, meaning the civil registry, the probates registry, the deeds registry, the land registry, all this is housed in the main court building in the Bayfront. We have resumed civil registry activities. We are now able to issue life event certificates, thanks to UPS and the Honourable Minister for the initiative here and the push to get that done. The Honourable Minister was insistent that we should get the civil registry running quickly. It's up, it's running, and I really want to thank UPS and the Honourable Minister for assisting in that regard. On October 20th, the Honourable Minister took the initiative to call a meeting with the present was the Honourable Attorney General, myself, the PS, and the Chief Magistrate. We discussed all aspects of the courts, with the view to putting timelines to deal with the opening of the Supreme Court. The PS has already informed about the Magistrates Court. We're looking at very closely, and I got some information from the judges yesterday, which I have not passed on to the PS and the Honourable Minister. I don't want to give all the details there, but we're looking closely at maybe another month, Honourable Minister. The judge's residence, the judge will not be able to enter her residence at Monbruce in a hurry, so we're looking at alternative accommodation for that judge, Justice Stevenson. a house has been identified, which I've spoken to the PS about it. About Monday it was. Yesterday, it looks like in the next 30 days, PS, we should be able to house Justice Stevenson, the civil court judge. It won't be able to be done before that. The criminal court judge, Justice Charles Clark, we should be able to house her before that. Honorable Minister and PS, I'll speak to you all about it and the information I have from court headquarters and so on. I would like to disclose it before discussing with the PS and the Minister. What else? Alternative venues for the court. Thanks to you, Honourable Minister, the Minister has taken the initiative to speak with the Honourable Prime Minister to get alternative venue for the court, for court sitting to take place, actually, because buildings are not going to be ready quite yet. We have to house the judges in different accommodations, as well as the actual build where the judges have to sit. It also has to be dealt with. We are looking at, the Honourable Minister told me that, well, through the PS, that we are looking at using the Parliament building to have the courts, both civil and criminal. It may have to be done on an alternative basis, maybe 2 days criminal, 2 days civil. That part hasn't been worked out as yet. We'll get to do that, I'm sure, by the end of this week. Which days for criminal, which days for civil. We'll have to work that out and put a schedule in place soonest to deal with both courts. We will not be able to put a schedule in place for criminal, Honourable Minister and PS, unless the DPP gets involved, because the DPP must be on board. She does the prosecutorial work on behalf of the state. So I called her yesterday, didn't reach her, so we're going to try to reach her today with a view to coordinating matters between the judge and the DPP as to when the first criminal court sit-in can take place. We took the initiative yesterday, Honourable Minister and PS, to open, to resume the services of the probate registry, the deeds registry. What we did was to have them housed in the titles registry. So not being able to use the rest of the building because there's no electricity. And the title section has some light coming from the outside, thank God for that. We have decided to house the various other registries in the title section. So service to the public commenced yesterday, receiving deeds, receiving other documents for the court. It's a bit difficult to operate there, but we're trying. Difficult circumstances, but we're trying our best to serve the public in a very effective and in a very efficient manner. Occasionally, when the public speaks a little loud and we hear some noises, I would have to, Mr. Minister, go out and explain to them the difficulties we're going through and asking them to cooperate with us. And I must say, once that's done, they calm down and they do cooperate with us very much. I want to thank God once again for being here. I want to thank the Honourable Minister for the leadership which he has taken, particularly the 20th meeting set the tone, 20th October meeting set the tone to deal with matters with respect to both aspects of the court, magisterial and supreme. And also the PS, thanks very much for your continued cooperation, PS, and your continued guidance in terms of the work that we have achieved thus far. I'm sure we'll continue to cooperate at all levels. I really want to sincerely thank my staff as well. The staff have been very cooperative. A few days after the hurricane they came, we prayed together. We spent a whole Friday after the hurricane sort of going over and reminiscing and going over what took place individually. That was very therapeutic and very helpful. The staff are resilient, and I really want to thank them publicly. We meet pretty often, like twice a week, just chatting among ourselves and setting the agenda for the week. And I must say the staff, all power to them and to God. Thanks for being here. I think that's basically what I want to say at this point. Thanks.